The Onlyfans model accused of stabbing her boyfriend to death.
The knife punctured the subclavian artery in his right chest.
The Onlyfans model accused of murdering her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli. When you see a beautiful influencer on social media, in magazines, or on television, the last thing you imagine them doing is committing murder. Well, this is exactly what occurred on Sunday, April 3rd, 2022, when a popular Onlyfans model stabbed her boyfriend in the chest and killed him. This is the story of Courtney Clenney. Before we start, we would like to send our sincere condolences to the family of Christian Obumseli, who fell victim to the abominable acts described in this case. Courtney Clenney was born on April 21, 1996, to her mother Deborah and father Kim. She grew up in Texas and had a very active childhood, participating in swimming, horse riding, and soccer. Both Courtney and her sister Morgan were known to be spoiled by their parents. Courtney went to college in 2015, and during this time, she was known for partying and drinking heavily. At age 18, she was arrested and charged with driving under the influence. She had a blood alcohol content of 0.300. Courtney had crashed her white Mercedes-Benz into another car and was ordered to spend 3 days in jail. When searching her car, police found a partially empty 750-milliliter bottle of Espolòn tequila in the front seat. Following this, Courtney dropped out of college to become a personal trainer, as she had decided she wanted to focus more on her fitness journey. She competed in and won several weightlifting competitions and started to post progress photos regularly on Instagram. Courtney noticed that there were people that actually made money from influencing and sponsorships. She decided she wanted to do that too.
I was like, wow, I could do that too. So I started posting consistently almost every day on my Instagram photos of me, like the typical Instagram model photos.
Courtney then moved to LA for a year to pursue her goals of becoming a successful influencer and model. She had several big breaks that gained her a large following. Playboy posted several of her photos to their Facebook and Instagram. She gained a lot of attention from that and would continue to work with Playboy for several months.
Every time they would do that, I gained like 5,000 followers. So you can imagine that helped me grow really quickly.
Courtney was also featured in a music video for G-Eazy's Me, Myself, and I. In 2020, Courtney decided to join the popular online content sharing platform Onlyfans. She made almost $1 million in her first year, and in 2021, she would come to make $1.8 million. Courtney was becoming hugely successful in her career and seemed to be at the top of her game. It was at this time she met Christian Obumseli, and within weeks, that had begun a passionate relationship. Christian Tobachukwu Obumseli, who usually went by the nickname Toby, was born on April 12, 1994. He was known as a funny and charismatic person who followed his dreams. Growing up, he loved basketball and football and was a linebacker when he attended Plano East Senior High School. Between 2015 and 2017, Toby studied communications and business management at Texas Tech. When he met Courtney, he was the owner of Wiseman and Peachtree LLC, which was his cryptocurrency trading business. According to friends of Toby, his relationship with Courtney seemed happy at the start, yet they began to notice a change in his personality after a while. On July 7, 2021, police would respond to a call made by security at a hotel in Las Vegas where the couple was staying. In this police body camera footage, Courtney can be heard stating that she called because their argument was becoming too heated. Both Courtney and Toby appear hungover and very tired, and according to the hotel employee, their room was completely trashed.
Once again, for what? Why did you call for help?
Because we were getting really loud.
Okay.
And I thought it was going to disturb everybody, so I felt the need to have him.
Courtney was arrested and held for 12 hours, even after Toby begged for her release. Not even 3 months later, another explosive argument would occur between the two, resulting in Christian being stabbed in the leg. In the state-released text messages, Toby writes, "The next morning, I still woke up happy. I still gave you a good day, even though my leg was hurting because my girlfriend stabbed me. Did I make you feel like shit for stabbing me? No, sucked it up and hoped tomorrow will be better." According to a friend of theirs from Austin, Courtney would disappear while we're all at dinner or out, and she would text Christian to go meet her. We'd go looking for them and we'd see them arguing, and she'd be sitting there screaming at the top of her lungs. She was always pulling him away to fight about something. Despite their clear relationship difficulties, Courtney and Toby would stay together. On January 22, 2022, they moved into an apartment in Miami, Florida, despite that Toby had always wanted to move to London. Their apartment was at 3131 Northeast 7th Avenue. It was a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. It was situated right in Midtown Miami, costing around $10,000 per month in rent. For a while, Courtney's Onlyfans success made her feel comfortable that she could afford it. But at the time of Toby's death, it would be revealed that she was actually 3 months behind on payments and was facing eviction. Their explosive, on-again, off-again relationship only got worse after moving to Miami. For the next few months, there would be multiple disturbance calls to the apartment. On the 30th of January, a text from Courtney read, "Hopefully this will give you time to think about your actions." Toby had allegedly received 2 slashes to the face and had to go to the hospital. The next day, Courtney texted Toby saying, "I love you so much, Christian. I should have been at the hospital with you. I feel extreme regret, sadness, and humiliation, and I am so sorry for hurting you." Testimonies from friends and family would say that Courtney was the main aggressor and was reported to have thrown Toby's belongings off the balcony several times. She would usually then apologize and shower him with gifts, once buying him a Louis Vuitton luggage set worth $10,000. Toby wrote a love letter to Courtney saying, "You in totality show daily appreciation, the antidote to our long-lasting relationship." On the 21st of February, Courtney and Toby would have an altercation in the elevator of their apartment building. In March of 2022, Courtney appeared on the We in Miami podcast, joking about being toxic and controlling in her relationships. Mobile phone evidence gathered from the investigation would reveal that Toby had taken several secret recordings of Courtney during their arguments. In one video, Courtney is heard screaming at Toby because he talked to another girl while on a bike ride and didn't tell Courtney about it.
"I was going on a bike ride. Like, what the? Get off of me!"
In the last week of March 2022, Courtney's mother, Deborah Clenney, was staying in their Miami apartment. Courtney allegedly chucked Christian out and threw his clothes off the balcony. On Friday, the 1st of April, Deborah left Miami. On April 1st, Courtney made a post on OnlyFans reading, "I'm not always this nasty. Wait, yes I am, LOL." Later that night, police would arrive at One Paraiso, responding to a call made by security. A dispute between Courtney and Toby had allegedly started earlier that day. Courtney stated that she had left her apartment to walk the dogs and found Toby waiting for her. According to the apartment employee, when he'd asked Courtney if she wanted Toby to leave the property, she said no, then yes, then no. Friends of Toby would recall that on April 2nd, he had sent them a video of Courtney dancing, leading them to believe they were still together. Sunday, April 3rd, would be a week before Toby's 28th birthday. At 1:15 p.m., he left the apartment to go for a walk. At this time, Courtney was on a call with her mom. After she hung up, she tried to call Toby, but he did not pick up. At 4:01 p.m., Courtney would go on Instagram Live until 4:33 p.m. At this time, Toby would arrive back at the apartment with sandwiches from Subway for the both of them. At 4:43 p.m., Courtney would phone her mother. The call would last 6 minutes. She would call her again at 4:49 p.m. This call would last 7 minutes. It was at 4:57 p.m. that Courtney called 911.
"My boyfriend is dying of a stab." "Ma'am, what is the address?"
At 5:04, police would exit the elevator on the floor of the apartment. A neighbor recorded footage on their phone of Courtney on the balcony of the apartment, handcuffed and covered in Toby's blood. Courtney would give a statement to police voluntarily. She was not arrested and was instead Baker Acted, which is a law in Florida that grants mental health professionals, judges, and law enforcement to commit a person to a mental health treatment center for 72 hours. This usually occurs when an individual shows signs of suicidal or violent behavior. When questioned, Courtney stated the reason their dispute started was because Toby had stopped sharing his location with her. When things became more heated between them, Courtney stated she went to the kitchen to grab a knife because she was scared.
How exactly did you throw it? Like, you threw it like this?
Oh, I just flung it.
You just flung it? Over your head or from
Like this.
Okay.
Throughout the interrogation, Courtney would speak of her relationship with Toby as turbulent and difficult.
I mean, we shouldn't be together.
After 3.5 hours in police custody, detectives would inform Courtney that Toby had died due to his wounds.
We have to inform you that Christian did not make it.
The next night, a TikTok video would emerge of Courtney at a bar with her father. Several people confronted her about Toby's murder, and she ended up leaving.
Yeah, you should go. Yeah, you should go. Because you just killed your boyfriend.
On the 5th of April, Toby's family would set up a GoFundMe page. So far, they have raised almost $84,000 of their $100,000 goal. According to Toby's elder brother, Jeffrey Obumseli, we need financial assistance to cover post-mortem transportation of the body, funeral arrangements, attorney fees, litigation, counseling, and bills for the family as we seek justice for our beloved brother and son. In June, 2 months after Toby's death, Courtney would buy a house in Lake Point, Texas, worth $1.4 million. However, she would not be able to enjoy it for long, as on August 10th, Courtney would be arrested in Hawaii for the murder of Christian Obumseli. On September 6th, Courtney would attend her first hearing, charged with second-degree murder with a deadly weapon. The defense and the prosecution agreed that the couple had a history of domestic violence, but they disagreed on who was the aggressor. Courtney's attorney, Frank Prieto, said she acted in self-defense and was a domestic violence victim. He said, as Courtney struggles with the pain of being a survivor of domestic violence and the aftermath of the events that evening, we ask that the community and Christian's family allow the police and the state to conduct their independent investigation of the events. This is a tragedy for all involved, but it was not criminal conduct. Courtney was defending herself, and the investigation will reveal exactly that. He also stated that the body cam footage proved Courtney's story. Mr. Obumseli was the abuser. I have photographs of her injuries. She was in a struggle for her life. He came at her, and unfortunately, he's deceased. But she defended herself with every ounce of energy she had left. Prieto goes further to state he has independent witnesses that have said Toby was abusive in private. It appears Christian was very good at being somewhat of a chameleon. In public, he maintained a certain facade. In private, he was a gaslighter and both mentally and physically abusive with her. Courtney hoped to be able to stay under home arrest with her parents in Texas, but prosecutors argued that Courtney had the funds and the means to flee the country. Courtney's defense contradicted this, stating that due to the purchase of her $1.4 million house and the cancellation of her Onlyfans account, Courtney is now bereft of funds. However, according to Judge Laura Chiron Cruz, the court does not agree that placing the defendant on house arrest with her parents in Texas is an appropriate form of release in this case. It was agreed that Courtney would be held without bond pending trial. In contradiction to what Courtney told detectives during the interrogation, Miami-Dade's chief medical examiner testified that the depth and angle of Toby's wound indicated an up-close stabbing. Judge Chiron Cruz agreed with the medical examiner, writing in her order that the defendant's version of how the victim's stab wound occurred is not supported by the evidence. The order submitted on December 8th stated, "There is no dispute that the defendant killed the victim in this case. The only factual issue in dispute is whether the defendant was acting in self-defense and whether this claim rendered the state's evidence doubtful." Clearly, defendant and victim had a sadly volatile relationship. However, from the evidence presented during this hearing, the court does not find the defendant's claim of self-defense on April 3, 2022 credible. According to their friend Ashley Vaughn, Courtney would hit Christian, but he would never hit her. He would never put her in a position where she would need to defend herself. Toby's family says Courtney is receiving preferential treatment from law enforcement because she is a white woman. Toby's cousin, Karen Agbuna, would state that they have no cause to believe that this was a case of self-defense. If Courtney is convicted of second-degree murder in Florida, she will have a life sentence with a minimum of 16 years and 9 months. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. See you next time.